seem like it's black on black crime. Nah, Negro. You are Samuel Jackson. Matter of fact, you Chicken George, Stephen Fletcher, you all those people. Both Jingles, he's all those people under the skies of the bush and the glasses. I already know you're a fraud. But at the end of the day, when we see each other, have that same energy. And if you don't, I'm going to make sure that everybody know that you didn't have that energy. Take it like that.
Welcome to BodyWork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. Before I get into that clip and talk about the materials, I gotta take you somewhere first. Alright, last night we had Virgil Ortiz making his much-awaited return after 17 months. He did his thing, and we also got a questionable ending, you know what I'm saying, of people citing rule books and stuff like that. It's just controversial because Tony Weeks actually, called the halt to the fight, and a lot of people said that it was premature. And I'm thinking from a fan perspective, it's like, man, this is the last fight. Give this man a chance. But we have had some health scares and some fatalities when it comes to people getting hit in the head. So you can argue a point either way that the fight was stopped. But that was the venue. It was actually a Golden Boy venue. You know what I'm saying? We also, I had spoke before this, and I said that, even though I know Virgil Ortiz is not 100% going into this fight, he's a knockout artist. And his will, he's one of them guys that's just, he's not in there to go the distance with you. He's not going to try to dance around with you. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come right at you. He's going to do what he need to do to get the job done. Even though he wasn't 100%, he makes his return. It was at 56. He came in at 56, you know what I'm saying? I still question. I think that he's a 160-pounder. I see that something unsoon with him and Tim Tszyu. Everybody's for it. I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I would like to at least see the man weigh in at the official weight of 154 and see how he look against somebody very solid before he just jump all the way up to the top at a Tim Tszyu. That's just me. I'm a Virgil fan. I call him the Piranha in my Boxes to Watch collection. You know what I'm saying? He was my dark horse at 47. Really wanted to see him and Stan Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Now I got my eyes shifted on Stan Giannis and seeing where he's going at. But I'm thinking that a Virgil Ortiz and maybe a Spence, since they're both just now arriving at the ranks, you know what I'm saying? Or one of these other solid guys who we know can make you bet, like somebody like Lubin or somebody, Lubin or Jesus Ramos or Castaño or, one of these other guys at 54, first. But long story short, Arnold Barboza actually made a return after having, a challenge. And it was talks of him fighting somebody else before that who actually just fought the dude Indochine, and I say that Barboza put on a good display. I think it was a good performance. I just think that against a high caliber fighter, it'll be different. He did what he needed to do. You can tell that he has the technical abilities and things like that. He has the attitude, the performance. He called out a lot of names after that performance. But my whole thing was that it was a race for somebody to actually take over Golden Boy, because we don't really know what Ryan Garcia is. We really don't. I think that he shows a lot of promise. I think he showed progression in his last fight. He does have a bullwhip of a left hook. He has a wonderful jab. I think his timing is real good. And I think once he get rid of a couple of the kinks in his armor, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And number-wise, because of the numbers that he did with Tank, right now, he seemed like the golden ticket. There's a lot of people calling and clamoring for Ryan. So Rolly was there, Teofimo was there, Jose Ramirez, who I really don't understand. He done ducked 3 opportunities at a belt. I guess he took his time. I don't know. People never address them. All the people that's always for, their fighters. They never address these. I never hear like people speak the truth about Jose Ramirez. I don't know what he is right now, after the inactivity and him actually not taking on those championships. So I think Golden Boy got a lot of things going on. Ismael Barrosa actually, some people say upset the apple cart. Some people don't. It's a guy named Trav FDY. Gotta listen to that guy. That man called the first round knockout. I think he won like almost $3,000 on that. And I didn't play the DAZN's money line. I didn't play the DAZN's parlay of the night because I listened to Trav. He said that, and I got to thinking about Ismael Barrosa, and I went back and looked at some film on O'Hara Davies, and I was like, man, right before my lady was like, man, what we gonna do? I was like, man, I don't trust him, man. I said, I listened to this other guy, man. He said he put it here, he put it there. So I'm listening to this other guy, and I don't trust it, man. I got to thinking about Ismael Barrosa, and sure enough, boom, first round. You know what I'm saying? First round. So, it's a lot of things going on, and in the midst of that, somebody else is present. Somebody else by the name of Bill Haney. Now, I'm trying to figure out, you could say scouting, yeah, but it was a Golden Boy event. Yes, it was on DAZN, but it was a Golden Boy event. And Bill was there. So, obviously, he was scouting. I mean, Ryan wasn't there. I didn't see Ryan. You know what I'm saying? I don't recall Ryan being there. I don't know. I didn't see him. But he was there, and him and Bernard go back at it. Now, going back to this clip was from Bernard Hopkins. He did an interview with the Spit Bucket podcast around March of last year. And I was all over it because it's like I've been tracking this, I've been detailing this, I've been, just taking snapshots of this thing all the way down the road. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, being consistent the whole time. Trying to be as respectful as I can the whole time. But in those clips where you see B-Hop basically saying, because Bill had came out in a brash manner. A lot of people say it's Don Kingish. You know what I'm saying? I guess if those are the footsteps you want to follow in. If those are the footsteps you want to follow in, okay, cool. That's how you want to do your promotion tactics, okay, cool. But he has said a lot of things about Bernard Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people excuse it away because they judge Bernard Hopkins on some of the things that he say as a company man. I'm like, you got to think that he speaks as a boxer. He's pretty much truthful on talent. I've never really heard him like BS anybody when it comes down to talent. He's a straight shooter. He's from Philly. But B-Hop don't care. He called himself the alien. He's not from here. So he don't care. He's a straight shooter, an OG in the game, a legend. You know what I'm saying? And you can see some maturity. I see a lot of maturity in him. It's like all boxers in time and age, people pick and choose and this and that. But he really said a lot of things about, Bill said a lot of things about Bernard. And Bernard was basically saying, okay. He called him a cat burglar. He talked about his jail time in prison, and he referenced the alternative lifestyle culture in reference to Bernard Hopkins. And Bernard Hopkins didn't take lightly to it. Bernard Hopkins said, okay, keep that same energy when you see me. So they come into contact with each other. Now, first Bill, he's doing an interview, and Bill getting all loud and this and that, you know what I'm saying? So B-Hop is like, hey man, let's take it to the latrine. You know what I'm saying? Let's and Bill like, I'm not doing this, blah blah blah. Follows B-Hop over to another interview where he's, you know what I'm saying, doing his own thing once again and being the what they call agitator again. Now, I hear a lot of people saying that B-Hop was wrong and immature for shoving him, but we already know what B-Hop is. B-Hop is a man of his word. Bill Haney did not keep that same energy, man. We could try to paint it all, but I see that the Jim Jones Kool-Aid crew, y'all love that Kool-Aid, man. I've never heard something, because I remember a time when people were talking about how Jared had slapped the Charlo, put his hands on this, and then I heard every time Charlo go to a fight and Caleb playing around, I hear, but it's different when it comes to B-Hop and Bill, though, right? Because you got to think, everybody, oh man, this is, oh man, blah, 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 this. They make all these excuses, right? But it's really, they're both what? They're two promoters. They're they're in their 50s. They're men, and I don't see no big size and reaching all that advantage, you know what I'm saying? They both millionaires, you know what I'm saying? Only B-Hop is a legend, and Bill Haney is a legend in the making. He's already done legendary things with his son, but he's a legend in the making. B-Hop is a certified legend who put his life on the line in the ring. You know what I'm saying? But it's all this crying and how B-Hop was wrong. B-Hop wasn't wrong. I think B-Hop really pulled his card. And just like that movie, when Denzel in it, when he played the gangster, you know, and when his cousin he said, man, if you wasn't my blood, you know, I'd blow your mother. That scene, like I really relate to that, because it shows that somebody can have a very good thing going, man, but because of affiliations and people that's in the game and around could be on the verge of just messing it all up. And when family do that embodiment, that energy that Denzel had when he played that role, when he was like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? I really felt that. And again, when B-Hop was like, hey, man, let's go to the battle. I have stories from when I was in the Army in basic training, when I was a young hothead, didn't know nothing, coming out of PG County, DC, that area, you know what I'm saying, where people just might punch you in the face for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Your friends might just, you know, it was just a crazy dog-eat-dog type place, you know what I'm saying? But I remember being in the Army, man, asked to do, hey, man, well, at midnight, meet me. Let's meet in the train. Don't tell nobody. I ain't gonna tell nobody. He say, I ain't gonna follow you nowhere. I'm like, shut the up. Like, I really, because it's like all that talk, at some point in time, all that talking and all that extra stuff, one, it's no good. It's bad energy. You know what I'm saying? On the up and up, when you really hear Bernard, he calls himself the instigator, but it's really to instigate and try to get fighters in the ring. It's not to be derogatory. It's not to be derogatory, but the Jim Jones Kool-Aid crew find every excuse for Mr. Bill Haney, man. They can't separate the fact that in one breath, because that's all I'm hearing, man. I hear some of the biggest instigators on YouTube whining and crying and giving people a platform to be able to say and make excuses for Bill and some of the crazy things that he say. And at the end, as long as he says, I'm just doing this to promote my son, he makes everything that he say before it excusable. It's almost like saying, I can eat anything as long as I say my grace over it, and then I say amen, and then I can pretty much eat anything in the name of, you know, and it's gonna be all right. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. He cannot be out. He said a lot of things about Floyd, which I understand, man. That's the guy who put you on originally. That's the guy, like in boxing, that's the guy who put you on game in boxing. Like, I don't understand. But he called Leonard Ellerby the spook by the door. He plastered mug shots at Tank. He was talking about how much money Coach Calvin did. He just did, 2 weeks ago, he just had, when Tank allegedly changed his name or did whatever, or went to the new name that he has, he had him in the cage calling him a monkey. You know what I'm saying? He says some of the most outlandish and does some of the most outrageous things. And at the end of the day, everybody step in and say, oh, it's okay because he's just promoting the son. Like, all these guys, he's not the only father in sports. And it's not okay. B-Hop called that bluff. I'm here to stamp it so people can go back, and it was somebody right around this time, this date, that was actually letting you know what it truly is. You know what I'm saying? 1724. You know what I'm saying? 1724. Somebody is telling you that it's not okay. He's being very disruptive. And I'm like, man, that's a Golden Boy DAZN event. Why are you even there? Why are you even there? But people making excuses and saying, oh, Bill got mind control over these people because he can get in your ear, he can blah, blah. No. He got mind control over y'all. The people that agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I think the sport it's a lot of people. I'm glad B-Hop is there. It's a lot of people there, a lot of staples in the sports that's really on some maturity thing. They really understand the aspects of the business. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know how you running around, man, with I don't know, man. Like, the fights and the resume and all that, it can be accentuated, or it can be verified or validated to a certain extent. But at this time and date in the career, I don't think that the actions and all this and all that, I don't think that a lot of those things justify some of the behavior that's going on. And before a lot of people start criticizing B-Hop, you gotta understand, this man disrespected B-Hop. This man disrespected every single solitary fighter you can name that may have had any kind of association with being able to get into a fight with those Haneys. They have slandered. I mean, I'm talking about like, were you talking about your own kind? Like, they have berated, belittled, tore down them all. B-Hop is like, I'll be your Huckleberry, and he stood. Everybody say Bill was standing on business. No, B-Hop stood on business with that little like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and typically I don't condone it, but it's like, man, like, he letting you know that you're not gonna be able to get out here and just say whatever you want. And in the last video I did, I said that, yeah, because Bill, after all that, when B-Hop said keep that same energy, Bill Haney said he was gonna turn in the Second Amendment bill. You know what the Second Amendment is, like, so he talking like that, but then when he see B-Hop, and everybody saying B-Hop wrong. Nah, man, put the Kool-Aid down, man. Put the Kool-Aid down, man. Let's start being responsible, because I've been saying this for a while. I said, man, these guys and the way they promote fights and some of the things that they say is going to get somebody hurt. Why not check the person that's saying all these outrageous things before it even get to that point? But no, you co-sign everything that he say in the name of promotion for his son, which he's done a very good job. But that's not the best way to promote. You already see, and I'm hearing people crying. In one sentence, on this show, I've watched a lot of things, because this is the pulse of boxing. I watched a lot of things and took in a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Analyzed and assessed a lot of things. And I heard on one show where people were actually crying after saying that, oh man, they already knew Devin Haney was gonna beat the blah 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 out of Ryan Garcia. That's why because when Ryan said, hey, he gonna move on and go to Rollies, he advised his team. He basically saying that Dev and them like stalled him out. Like, they have a history of doing it, stalling him out and doing all this. You know, I seen somebody where they didn't even realize that Loma wanted concessions. That's why the fight got, Devin wanted concessions from Loma that during that time. He was part of the reason why the fight got pushed back with him and Loma, because he wanted more money, more bread. Like, I'm telling you, this is the first time with Ryan and them saying, no, we ain't gonna do that, because now it's like, where you gonna run to? Back to where you were gonna go in the original place, you're mandatory. Yeah, you was gonna go back to that anyway. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest tactics ever. You know, but I said they were gonna get somebody hurt. You know, and now we're starting to translate into business, because Ryan and them are saying, nah, we don't want you. Now you gotta go do your own path. And people were saying that Devin was just gonna beat the crap out of Ryan, and that's why they didn't do it. But in the same breath say, no, they should have made that fight, but they really won that fight. So people tell on themselves in their same conversation. So you know that Devin gonna beat the crap out of Ryan, but Ryan is a duck for not taking it, because he's gonna go fight Rolly for a belt, which numbers wise is gonna do way bigger numbers. They both shared the ring with Tank already. It's gonna do way better numbers. So you're forced to go do whatever, especially when you're talking with those little numbers. You know what I'm saying? The people with the little numbers, man, I don't understand those little numbers, man, be talking the most in the sport of prize fighting. So it translated into business. Now you're seeing people say that, you seen B-Hop in action say that, man, you're not gonna be able to just say whatever you want, man. I think that if you want to get the scoop, like, I think the circus stuff is good, man. It sparks good conversation, but it gotta be a line drawn, man. And I think that we gotta be more responsible when we start talking and allowing people to just say whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just saying whatever you want, I ain't talking about when you just hitting somebody with straight facts and you ain't cursed, you ain't said nothing. You hitting somebody with, I ain't saying, I'm just talking about some of the outrageous stuff that we allow people to say and do. And when we know that they lie and deceive, we got to check it in the conversation before this is escalated. It's pride before destruction, man. It's inches before pounds. So it gotta start drizzling first, then it start raining, then it start storming, man. And I think we're seeing the early rumblings of something that if we don't get this out of control and people don't stop being so mesmerized by people and put the Kool-Aid down, we gotta start checking each other, man. We gotta start being like, nah, man, like don't say that because you're not gonna keep that same energy when y'all, you know what I'm saying, in each other's face. You know, so once again, man, interesting night, definitely entertaining. Definitely this week, that's all it's gonna be, man. But I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna try to sit back and enjoy the circus. But I just wanted to stamp this in the fact that B-Hop is a man of his word. He's standing on it. You know what I'm saying? He's standing on what he say, man. Some people are gonna hold people accountable for things that they say and do, man. And I think that that's gonna go a long way for the sport and the business, especially when you plan on doing business with these people. Like, anyways, man, I'd like to get your thoughts in the comments, man. What you think about the fight, man? Do you think that Virgil Ortiz is going to be good for Tim Tszyu? I want to see him fight again at 54. I'm not going to stop his bag. I know he got to get his money, so I'm not going to blame him if he can get that bag and him and Tim Tszyu can get it on. I just think that with him being dehydrated and the way he made weight, and it wasn't really a true 156, you haven't really weighed in at 154 yet. You know, I don't know. That's just me. But I care about Virgil. I don't want, man. Tim Tszyu ain't nobody. Like, if you take that weight off and you don't put it back on, because you're going to have to come in locked and cocked, on point, feeling like great. You know, that's a lot of, like, that's kind of like, that's pressure. That might be anxiety. You know, I think he should get another one up under his belt. I'm not knocking the fight. I'm not making excuses as a fan. Hey, sign me up, take my money. I'll go see it. You know, Arnold Barbosa, you know, I'm not sure what he's going to do next. You know what I'm saying? I know he called out a lot of names, you know, but he's making, you know, he made a good comeback. We got Jose Ramirez coming back. We got Ryan. He's going to try to get it on Maroli. You got Ishmael Barroso sitting right there. You know what I'm saying? That got to go see Rolly for that belt. So might be a rematch there. What do you think about these things, man? And don't forget about that guy I told you about, man, when it comes down to it, man. The dude be winning so much bread, and he be calling it straight down the middle. Changed my whole way of thinking. I be knowing and analyzing the fights, but changes my whole line of thinking when I start looking at it, you know what I'm saying, how he be calling and how it be coming out just like that, man. So I didn't place any wagers. I was just a fan last night. I salute Oscar and B-Hop for putting on a successful event. You know, it's going to definitely have YouTube on fire. You know what I'm saying? The lords of YouTube are going to take off this week. It's going to be all kind of sensationalism. Your boy right here going to be, you know, doing his homework, getting back in the lab, bringing you that good, hot fire. Thanks for tuning in here at BodyWorkBoxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.